In this video, we are going to discuss about the special cross, that is back cross, types of back cross, out cross and test cross. Types of test cross: monohybrid test cross, dihybrid test cross and trihybrid test cross. And we are also going to discuss about the reciprocal crosses. So let's start it. What is back cross? The crossing of one individual with their parents is simply known as back cross. Or if one hybrid is crossed with any one of the homozygous parents, either dominant or recessive parents, is called back cross. For example, these are the parents. One is dominant and the other is recessive. One is pair tall and the other is pair dwarf, having genotype this. Then the offspring is produced, which is a tall. So if one individual is either crossed with pair dwarf or with pair tall, then this process or this procedure is known as a back cross. Then there are two types of back crosses. If we cross the F1 individual with homozygous recessive parents, then the back cross is known as test cross. And if we cross the F1 individual with homozygous dominant, then it is known as out cross. So two types of back cross. Out cross: in this cross, F1 individual cross with dominant parents. In this cross, in next generation, only dominant character are appears. So any type of analysis is not possible. So what is a out cross? The crossing of F1 hybrid, that is heterozygous, when it is crossed with their parents, which is homozygous dominant, which is tall. So you see here in the checkerboard that phenotypic ratio is equal to 1, while the genotypic ratio, one is homozygous tall and the other is heterozygous tall is produced. So genotypic ratio is 1:1. So in case of outcross, phenotypic ratio is not equal to genotypic ratio. Then what is test cross? In this cross, if one individual is crossed with recessive parents, or we can say the crossing of F1 hybrid with their recessive parents is known as test cross. This cross is very significant. Then we are going to discuss about the types of test crosses. Monohybrid test cross. In this case, if one hybrid of the monohybrid cross is crossed with recessive parent, with homozygous recessive parents. So you see in the checkerboard that one is heterozygous tall and what is homozygous dwarf. So phenotypic ratio is 1:1 and genotypic ratio is also 1:1. So in case of monohybrid test cross, the phenotypic ratio is equal to genotypic ratio. It means that phenotypic ratio will always be same into the genotypic ratio. So this cross is known as monohybrid test cross. What is dihybrid test cross? The crossing of F1 individual of two traits of the Mendel laws of independent assortment with their homozygous recessive parents. So you see in the checkerboard 4 different types of phenotypes and genotypes is produced. One is round yellow, the other is round green, wrinkled yellow and wrinkled green is produced. So phenotypic ratio is 1:1:1:1, while genotypic ratio will also same. So we concluded that phenotypic ratio in case of dihybrid test cross is equal to genotypic ratio, yeah, are the same. Then what is trihybrid test cross? As we know that the monohybrid test cross genotypic and phenotypic ratio is 1:1. So 1:1 is crossed with 2 times to produce 3 monohybrid test cross. That is approximately equal to 8:1. 1:1:1:1:1:1:1:1 and ratio 1. Here phenotypic ratio is equal to genotypic ratio within the trihybrid test cross. Uses of test cross. Before to study about the uses of test cross, remember this trick that every test cross is a back cross, but every back cross is not a test cross. Again I am repeating, every test cross is a back cross, but every back cross is not a test cross. Now we will go to the uses of test cross or significance of test cross. To know the genotypes of unknown dominant individual, the test cross is performed. To know the types of gamete formed in unknown dominant individual, test cross is formed. And these are other significance are uses of test cross. The test cross is a great significance in determining the genetic constitution of an organism. The test cross an easier and rapid method for obtaining desirable character in homozygous condition. The test cross is very useful to breeder and geneticists. It also helps in determining the genetic constitution of an organism. To check whether the individual is homozygous or heterozygous, a test cross is performed. Or to check the homozygosity and heterozygosity of an individual, the test cross is performed. So, an unknown tall dominant, either they may be homozygous or heterozygous, when it is crossed with unknown dwarf plant. So unknown tall is crossed with dwarf, the individual heterozygous tall is produced. So unknown tall is crossed with homozygous recessive parents, then the heterozygous as well as the homozygous dwarf will be produced. So example, flower color in garden pea plants. Flower color in garden pea plant, violet is dominant, is and white is a recessive. So unknown violet is crossed with white. So all flowers are violet. Unknown violet color is crossed with white color. Half of the flowers are violet and half of the flowers are white. Interpretation is that unknown flower is homozygous here unknown flower is a heterozygous. So that's why we can say that the test cross is performed that to check whether the individual is homozygous or heterozygous. Then what is last one is the reciprocal crosses or reciprocal cross. It is a set of two crosses in which in second cross, six of the parents are reversed. Or we can say that it is a set of two crosses in which in second cross, six of the parents are reversed. Mendel conducted a reciprocal cross to know the inheritance of character is dependent on parental. In one cross, he take female as a favor tile while dwarf is favor male. So all if one individual tall is produced in second cross, he reversed the sex of the individual. That from the female he take dwarf, while from the male he take the favor tall. So this is known as a reciprocal crosses. When you change the sex or when you reverse the sex, this then the cross will be known as a reciprocal cross. Result: Mendel obtained similar result in both crosses. So, conclusion: inheritance of character is not dependent on parental sex. So, character studied by Mendel were controlled by carrier gene nucleus. So, result of reciprocal crosses will change in two cases. Genes present in cytoplasm, if the gene is present in the cytoplasm, which is known as cytoplasmic inheritance, or the gene present on sex chromosome, means sex linkage. You see here that mitochondria as well as chloroplast, they have their own DNA. That's why these organelles is known as self-replicating organelles, while remaining genes is present within the nucleus, which is known as a karyogen gene, while the gene present outside the nucleus is known as a cytoplasmic gene, because the mitochondria and chloroplast both are cytoplasmic organelle. And within the nucleus, then again there are two types of genes, autosomes and sex chromosomes. So the gametes here from male as well as from female, you can see that cytoplasmic inheritance. Uh, Most of the cytoplasm of the female gamete is used, while male gamete have less cytoplasm. So the character, yeah, the gene which is present in the cytoplasm of the female, it produced in their offsprings, or we can say it is transferred to the next generation. So cytoplasmic inheritance shown by only female, that is uniparental. So from this cross we can easily conclude that most of the cytoplasm of the female gametes are used, while in male gametes less cytoplasm and having no cytoplasmic genes. So the cytoplasmic inheritance is only uniparental, that is female. So cross 1 and cross 2, green leaves if we crossed with white leaves, and this green color is present within the chloroplast and white leaves. So all of the offspring is a green leaves. While in reciprocal cross is and if we take the white leaves from the female and green leaves from the male, then the white leaves is produced. So from this we concluded that within the gametes, the cytoplasmic gene is present only in female gametes. So that's why their offspring will be also produce a similar to their female gametes. So if you like the video, please share, subscribe and watch.